Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for watching on YouTube or on Facebook. I'm coming to you with an update today because today is National Cerebral Palsy Awareness Day. World CP Day is in October, but this day in March is specifically the big day for wearing green and spreading awareness and sharing your journey about cerebral palsy. Now, I've honestly been celebrating all month, treating myself a little bit, and just really, it's always a reminder in March to be thankful for the support that I've had, especially from my dad, my mom, my sister, and, all of my physical therapists and friends along the way. And, it just always helps me to refocus on my fitness a little bit too. Like, okay, I've come this far, but there's always more that you can do. And one of those things that I did in March that I feel like has really helped is a 21-day Herbalife fitness challenge. This was not about losing weight for me. I don't think I need to lose weight. I have a very positive body image. I just really wanted to continue building muscle and get stronger, and eating better is something I've been trying to do for the last couple of years, but I like my junk, so a challenge for me is a good way to keep myself accountable. Eating more veggies, drinking more water, all of that stuff. Really didn't lose any weight on this challenge, but I definitely saw a difference in the muscle mass that I acquired just from having more protein. I saw way better energy levels when I wasn't eating junk, and it really just helped me to refocus on myself because, yes, I'm working on a thesis and that has to take priority too, but I can't forget to take care of myself while all that is going on. Let's see, what else? Coming up here, I do have a doctor's appointment on my birthday in April, so hopefully get a prescription for more physical therapy and keep that going. Physical therapy is going well. I'm still having falls pretty frequently, and I've kind of gone through some phases of that with these new braces. If you watched my previous video where I showed you the differences between the braces, the older ones that I had a lot more ankle stability. They were solid in the ankle, so in a sense my braces could catch me more when I went to fall. These have a more open ankle design and I have a lot more ankle flexibility, and what I'm finding is I go through these periods where I can't catch myself. I don't know how to catch myself. Your average person, or your person without CP, I guess you could say, is going to just take a step or react with their ankles, and I haven't learned how to do that yet. So one of the things we've been working on in physical therapy is really balance reactions, and my physical therapist gets to have fun trying to push me over to see, safely of course, in the parallel bars, to see, can I catch myself? Can we train me to not fall, or to catch myself when I feel like I'm going to fall? So here's hoping that my doctor recognizes that and renews a prescription for physical therapy just to keep everything going so that I'm able to continue working on that balance, which right now is my main concern. Stamina is another thing I'm working on. I have been walking more. The pool is finally back open after being closed for a bit of a facelift and some construction. But I've been walking between 2 to 2.5 miles as often as I possibly can. And then today's Friday, so on Wednesday I decided to try a 5K on the treadmill, or I guess my goal was really just to see how far I could go before I was like, alright, better take a break. And so I wasn't going for any particular speed here. I mean, I started out at a medium walking pace because that's usually what I do when I'm out for a walk, especially my shorter ones. I ended up setting the treadmill to 5K, and I walked the first mile or so. I was like, man, this first mile is really slow. And I looked down, and the incline was on. I didn't realize I must have pressed it. I must have tweaked something before I hit start. So here I find out that that first mile, that really slow first mile, was done uphill, so I felt a little bit better about how slow it was. Once I put the incline to 0, I was able to keep a medium fast pace throughout. I hit about 2.5 miles and nothing was hurting at that point, but I was fatiguing a little, so I decided to knock the speed down, and I was able to finish that 5K in an hour and 17 minutes. That's the first 5K I've done in the new braces. And it's also the first 5K that I've ever done on a treadmill, because I usually prefer to do those out around my neighborhood. Walking in my neighborhood has been difficult too, though, because the city came in and did some work and essentially had the sidewalks a little bit torn up, and then never went back in and filled in with concrete. So it's this mix of, like, there's some concrete and then there's a bunch of gravel where they filled in, and then there's concrete and gravel where they filled in. And so it's not that I can't walk outside, but sometimes if I'm doing a longer distance where I know I'm going to fatigue, I'm better off on the treadmill because I don't have anything to trip over, so to speak, besides myself, I guess. But then the other interesting thing about the treadmill too is that with the treadmill, you can hang on, like, down with your arms down at your side, like if you're walking, or you can hang on, more in the center, I guess. There's some little bars that come up that you can hang on to, and I hang on to those, which I think actually might just stabilize everything a little bit more, and help my core out, maybe a little bit less hip rotation, although I don't know because I've never looked at myself on the treadmill. That might be, as a side note, that might be an interesting thing for my physical therapist to check out and see, does that give me less hip rotation? Because I really didn't notice hip pain after walking that 5K, and kind of surprising to me because usually anytime I do anything different, my back or my hips are going to be a little bit sore. So an hour 17, definitely not my fastest time. My fastest is like an hour and 6 minutes and 30 seconds. But for a first 5K and the new braces, I don't think that was bad at all. I have been pretty sore the last couple of days. In my calves, yes, but those are easier to massage. The area that I keep having pain with is kind of on the outsides of my feet. So with these new braces, my foot can do more of a heel-toe motion, but my foot always kind of wants to, because my ankles are weak, I want to put more weight on the outside of my foot. So I'm in an ankle stabilizer right now underneath my braces to try to get that to not happen so much, so that I don't have a pain there. But I think what's happened with, doing a random 5K on a Wednesday is that even though I took it at a pretty slow pace, the more I fatigued, I think the more pressure I was putting on the outside of my feet without realizing it until afterwards when I, came home, took everything off, and got everything all stretched out. That's when I realized, oh, yeah, gonna be sore for a little bit. So yay for the deep blue muscle rub that I use, because without that, these last couple days might have been a little bit more miserable. Now, I'm not like to the point where I can't do anything, but I definitely noticed with a longer distance just more soreness in general. So hopefully as I continue to train for 5K that is on Memorial Day, I will continue to improve and maybe have a little bit less discomfort there on the outside of my feet. Well, I suppose that's about it for now. Thanks for tuning in to an update that was a little bit longer than what I expected it to be, but I guess it has been a while since I've been on to update you guys. If you've got any questions about anything, just let me know in the comments. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already so you can get the rest of my updates as well. As the thesis goes on, I'll be sure to be giving you all some updates about that, and I'm looking forward to a graduation now in July, now that travel is possible, so yay. I will see you guys next time. Thanks.